What's good, folks? It's your boy Isaac, aka Polo, aka Young Polo, back with another edition of Polo Talk Sports. Now, this video is going to be like sort of my projections for the NFL rookie quarterbacks going into next season. Now, if you've been following along, I made a video a few weeks back before the draft of, the top five and the order I think they'll be drafted and have the most success. And this is post draft, so kind of after I know all their landing spots where they got drafted, when they got drafted, and who's on their rosters. I'm gonna make another video saying my projections for which quarterbacks out of these top five I think will have the best rookie seasons. Now, my top five ended up being the first five quarterbacks selected, so I am kind of an expert in this, and my order was pretty similar. My order I had before the draft, I had Kenny Pickett first, Matt Corral second, Desmond Ridder third, Malik Willis fourth, and I had Sam Howell as the fifth quarterback. How they actually ended up getting drafted was Kenny Pickett from the University of Pittsburgh. He went number 20 overall, first round pick to the Steelers. Steelers is where I had him going. Desmond Ridder, who was my third ranked quarterback, went second. He was number 74th pick overall, third round to the Falcons. The Falcons was also where I had Desmond Ridder going. All right, Malik Willis, who I had ranked fourth, he went third overall. He went in the third round, pick number 86 to the Tennessee Titans. And Matt Corral, who I had as my second highest ranked quarterback, he went fourth. He went number 94 overall. Another third round pick to the Panthers. And Sam Howell, who I had fifth, he was the fifth quarterback taken, and he went number 44 overall, which is the fifth round pick to the Washington Commanders. Now, this is going to be a list of the quarterbacks, those five quarterbacks in the order that I think they'll be most successful in their rookie season. So not necessarily for their career, but based off of, where they got drafted, who's on their rosters, how I think they'll end up having the most success, and obviously based on if they even end up playing in their rookie season. Now, first I got Matt Corral because he got drafted to the Panthers. And out of all the quarterbacks, I think they'll all have to wait unless some of them could win in the offseason and preseason to win the job, which I don't think any of them will do that. I think Matt Corral will be the first to play because out of all the quarterbacks, the starter in front of him is the worst. He has Sam Darnold in front of him, and we know by now Sam Darnold is a trash can. Honestly, I think he did have talent coming out of USC a few years back, but I think the Jets just psychologically took the talent out of him, so to speak. He was just getting sacked so much, losing so many games, and that could do a lot to affect someone's mental. So the Panthers also, their O-line isn't the best, but they should improve this year based off of their draft and free agency. So I think Matt Corral will have some decent success. He has Christian McCaffrey, who hopefully we can have a healthy season. A running back, a pass-catching running back can be a quarterback's best friend. So a lot of checkdowns, a lot of they could run some option with Matt Corral because he can move a little bit with CMC. And they have Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, Terrence Marshall, which is going to have a good second season, a wide receiver from LSU who was a rookie last year. He has some weapons to work with. And overall, mostly I think he'll just have the most success out of the rookie quarterbacks because I think he'll play the most. Sam Darnold, he might get thrown in there as soon as week 4, week 5 maybe. Sam Darnold's just a trash can, and the Panthers are probably going to start 0-3, 0-4, and then that'll be a wrap for Sam Darnold as a starter for the Panthers. Next up, I got Desmond Ridder. Now, I like Mariota a lot, so I'm not 100% sure that Desmond Ridder will even play his rookie season, but I think Mariota might get hurt, which has been his issue in the past. That was his issue on the Titans. The reason why, he's not really in that franchise caliber quarterback. But, I saw some things in the Raiders when he did get into the game. He was making some throws, and he's pretty talented, so I think he could do a lot. Mariota, that is, with the Falcons. But if he does get hurt, Desmond Ridder, on draft night, he said he's going to win them a Super Bowl. So let's, baby steps. Let him get in the game first. And they do have Kyle Pitts, which is, he's a beast tight end. He's going to end up being a top 5 tight end in the league, if not this season, then the season after that. Drake London, which is a rookie they drafted out of USC, he's a fan favorite. A lot of people, especially in Cali, we all know who Drake London is. He's a boy, and he's going to be a good piece for Desmond Ridder to have. Obviously, he doesn't have Calvin Ridley because of his off the field transgressions with the gambling and everything, which sucks. But those two pieces alone, should help him out. He's mobile. He ran a 4.52, which surprised a lot of people. So he can move and he can throw, and he'll sit behind Mariota, who is a professional. So hopefully he learns some things from Mariota as far as professionalism and conducting a huddle and things like that. And also, he's a very good comp for Mariota in terms of mobility. So as soon as Mariota goes down or gets benched, he could fill in and they don't have to change the game plan for him. He could run the offense the same way Mariota did. Next up, I got Sam Howell. Now, Sam Howell is obviously, he's not one of my favorites out of the five. He's my least favorite. But, he is, he's a quarterback. He got a good arm, a good consistent arm. And, he is a good leader because, he's a multiple year starter at University of North Carolina. And he just, I just like how he conducts himself. He's pretty professional. And, he reminds me of like a Jared Goff type player in terms of his skill set, a little more mobile too. And he is on the Commanders. So Carson Wentz, you don't know how I feel about Carson Wentz. He's done for. He had some success early on in his career, but this is his third team in 3 years. He's just a trash can. So if he doesn't get hurt, I think eventually he might get benched because the Commanders do have some sort of talent, and they will want to play for the playoffs because the NFC East, as we know, isn't one of the better divisions in the league. So they won't need too many wins in order for them to, try to compete for that playoff spot. So they might be, 4-6, 3-5, something like that, and they might just, say, go ahead and throw that rookie in there because, Wentz isn't getting the job done. And they do have, Terry McLaurin. They drafted Jahan Dotson, he's a stud wide receiver from Penn State. So that's some weapons there. They have a run game with Gibson, and a run game similar to a pass-catching running back can be a quarterback's best friend because in the play action it gives him more time, and if a running back could also help with pass blocking, things like that. It's just a recipe for success for a young quarterback. So next up we got Kenny Pickett because I like Mitchell Trubisky, similar to Mariota, but I'd say Mitchell Trubisky is a little bit better just because he had worse conditions on the Bears, and he did make the playoffs twice in 3 years on the Bears, which didn't have a very good O-line or good offense in general. So I think Mitchell Trubisky, if healthy, I think he's going to last a year in Pittsburgh. I don't think the Steelers will make the playoffs, so that might give Kenny Pickett some time to get in towards the end of the year because if you're not playing for the playoffs, then you might as well, put in Kenny Pickett because he is the quarterback of the future. So, yeah, that's basically the reason. The Steelers had a great defense. Their O-line isn't the best, but, they do have Najee Harris, who, Big Ben in his old age, he was really just throwing the ball to Najee Harris last year. He wasn't really throwing it downfield. He was just dumping it off, screen passes, things like that. And with Kenny Pickett being a rookie quarterback, those are some of the plays that he'll be running because, he'll have limited time with that O-line. And, he'll just be nervous, so he'll want to get the ball out quicker and not want to hold on to it as long. Lastly, we got Willis. Now, obviously, Willis, he should probably be a little higher on this list, but I just don't think he's pro-ready. So even if Tannehill isn't performing that good, I think it's similar to a Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo situation. Even if he's not playing that good, in that division, the Titans will win enough games to where you want to keep Tannehill in there because putting Malik Willis in there just wouldn't be beneficial for the team because he is mobile, he has arm talent and all that, similar to Trey Lance. But he's just not ready to play. Like, he played at Liberty, which I'm pretty sure they're either D2 or play at like a really small school, so this competition level wasn't there, and his numbers still weren't crazy. He wasn't putting up like Lamar Jackson type numbers. It's just the skill set, which is really what got him drafted, and he's just not ready to play. And even though they do have Derrick Henry, they don't have too many wide receivers over there. A.J. Brown left, Julio Jones is gone. There's not really anyone left to throw to. So I don't want him to play because I don't think he'll have very much success, and I don't think he'll see any time. I don't think he'll see the field at all his rookie season. So that concludes this video, and I was basically 100% right on the draft. In this video, I'm going to be proven to be 100% right too. the quarterback videos really hit home because I am a quarterback. I still consider myself a quarterback, you know, until my career is for surely definitely over, then, you know, I'm going to just become a quarterback expert. But I still am a quarterback at heart, so I know, you know, what goes into the position, what positions you need around you to have success. And that concludes this video, man. We out.